Welcome, Blue Jay fans! Welcome to another episode of Talkin' Jays, and welcome to Sunday Night Breakdown. I'm here. Today's topic, we are going to talk about does the best rotation in baseball, which is now 7 deep, and I'm talking about those Los Angeles Dodgers who just signed Trevor Bauer to make it go 7 strong. Does that guarantee you that championship? And I'm here to say no, it does not. If anything, as history has shown us with top rotations in MLB, in the history books, it goes against the grain more than it goes for the grain. Will I guarantee them to make it to the postseason? Yeah, I'll give you a strong guarantee for the postseason, no question, as I'll show. Some of my examples I'm going to show a little bit here. These teams make it to the postseason, but once they get to the postseason, there's a little difficulty in the pecking order. So if you take a look now at the Dodgers rotation, this was last year. You take a look. Clayton Kershaw, Dustin May, Julio Urias, Tony Gonsolin, and Walker Buehler. No problem there to see who is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no problem in putting that in order on that. Baseball players, they are very, very finicky, just like any athlete. You start messing with minds, it gets a little more difficult. Now, let's throw this guy into the mix. We're throwing a David Price, who sat out last year due to COVID reasons. David Price is now added to this. Where do you slot him? Is he the number 3? Is he the number 4? No, just wait now. Here's another pitcher. One of them, probably a very, very big ego. I heard a great teammate just through the rumor mills, through the internet and things like that, because I don't know him personally. Don't know anybody who knows him personally, but great teammate I hear. But we all have egos, and the bigger the athlete, the bigger the ego. So where do you slot these guys in now? Who is the ace of this pitching staff? Is it Walker Buehler? Is it Trevor Bauer, the reigning Cy Young winner? People may say, well, game 1 is just game 1, game 2, but there's a pecking order on a pitching rotation. It causes a little bit of turmoil throughout the season. Watch it, you'll see it. And not just through the season, but wait to hit the postseason. Who's going to get those first 3 starts of the postseason? Clayton Kershaw, I'm not too worried about, because I think he seems like a pretty good dude. Every time I listen to his interviews, he seems like he is so level-headed. I think he would take a back seat and do what's going to be asked. He could be a Game 4 starter in the postseason. I don't want to go too far ahead, but again, this is going to be more of a problem than what people think. God, they have so big egos, athletes. And like I said, the bigger the athlete, the bigger the ego. Pecking order. Guys got to know their roles on the team. And this is going to cause a problem. We're going to take a look at some of the top 10 rotations in history. And I'm not going too far back. I'm going to go from 1980 and up. We're going to take a look at this rotation right here, the 2019, jumped a little ahead, 2019 Los Angeles Dodgers ranked the 10 best rotation in baseball so far in history of rotations. So you can take a look at those 5, pretty good staff. You got Hinju now, who's with the Blue Jays. They got Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Rich Hill, Kenta Maeda. Number 10th ranked pitching staff ever in MLB. And let's take a look at their results. And they did not even get to the World Series. Got to the postseason. And again, I say great pitching staff, 5, 6, 7 deep, whatever, they got 7 deep. Now 5 deep will get you usually a 100 win season, which they had that year. And they end up losing to the eventual winners of the World Series, the Washington Nationals, lost to them in 5 games in the first round. So again, the 10th best overall rotation in baseball ever, did not even make it to the World Series, lost in the first round. The number 9 best rotation in baseball ever in MLB is this rotation right here. Look at that beautiful rotation. Matt Cain, Timmy Lincecum does not get no better than those 2. You get a young Madison Bumgarner in there in the 4th hole. Sanchez was a very good pitcher in his day, and we know Barry Zito had his problems in San Francisco, but if you throw Barry Zito in there as your number 5 in a rotation, that's going to get you some wins in the season. Let's take a look at their results over the year. Didn't get a 100-win season, 92. Must be a very, very weak division that year, but this is a good sign here because they end up going to the World Series and end up winning the World Series in 5 games over the Texas Rangers. You take a look there. They beat the Braves 3-1. Then they won the NL Championship over Philly, who had a very, very strong team that year. We're going to see Philly later coming up here on their rotations and things like that. So this was a good result for the number 9 best rotation in baseball. They end up getting to the World Series, end up winning the World Series. So right now, when you take a look at those, those two, number 9, number 10, we're 1 for 2 right now. So let's take a look at, this is the number 7 best rotation in baseball. Again, I only did from 1980 up, so we did number 9 overall. The 8th, I just took a quick shot of it. The 8th best rotation ever was the 1972 Oakland A's. They end up winning the World Series that year. So right there, those first 3 then, 10, 9, 8, we're 2 for 3 for winning the World Series. We'll take a look at number 7, best rotation ever in MLB. We're looking at Doc Holliday, Cliffy Lee, Cole Hamels, Roy Oswalt, and Vance Worley. Great rotation. Ranked 7th in MLB history. We'll take a look and see what happened. Postseason, didn't even make it out of the first round. Lost to the St. Louis Cardinals in 5 games. But you can see they got over 100 wins that year. Again, that rotation will get you probably to the 100-win mark with when you go 5 deep like that. But it's not guaranteeing you win a championship. So again, right there, the 7th best, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. That's 4 we went through, and we're 2 and 2 right now for World Series wins and World Series losses. Or actually, not World Series losses. The other 2 lost the first round. So let's take a look here at the next top rotation. Again, 1980 on. I'll go over and see. I'll tell you who was the numbers 5 and 6 in a second here. It was a little earlier on in history in the 60s and things like that. So number 4 rotation ever in MLB is the 1988 New York Mets. And this is Dwight E. Gooden, Ron Darling, David Cone, Bobby Ojeda, and Sid Fernandez. If you grew up in the 80s, you remember these guys. This was one heck of a starting rotation. But we'll take a look and see what results they finished. And they lost 7 games to the Dodgers. This was before all the wild card stuff. It was 2-2 right there. So, and they didn't even make it to the World Series that year. Did get 100 wins, as you can see, but again, they lost in the first round. Didn't make it to the World Series. That is the number 4 all-time best rotation right there. Next rotation, number 3 best rotation ever in MLB history is the 2019 Houston Astros. You look at Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole, Zach Greinke. Those 3 gets no better than that. You add in Wade Miley and Aaron Sanchez. Great rotation. Again, we'll take a look at the results. They won the AL over Tampa Bay 3-2, and then they bet the Yankees for the AL championship, and then they went to the World Series, but end up losing 4-3 to the Washington Nationals, who they have a pretty good sound rotation themselves. Not as deep as the Houston Astros were that year, but when they have Scherzer, Corbin, and why am I drawing a blank on Strasburg? So they were pretty strong themselves. But Houston, who was ranked the 3rd best MLB rotation in baseball, did not get a World Series ring. And the number 1 all-time rotation in baseball, the 1988 Atlanta Braves. Greg Maddux, Tommy Glavine, Denny Neagle, Kevin Millwood, and John Smoltz. Best rotation ever assembled in baseball. And we'll take a look at the results. And we're looking at won the NL Division Series, but lost to the Championship Series against the San Diego Padres. Didn't make it to the World Series. So again, they did make it to the World Series. Like I said, they got 106 wins that season. It gets you a 5 deep rotation will get you 100 wins. I can pretty much almost guarantee it, 95 plus for sure. But again, they did not win a World Series. So if we just go, I'm gonna go back here. So that was the number one all-time rotation, which is the Atlanta Braves. Number two all-time rotation I have right here is the 1966 Los Angeles Dodgers with Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale and company. They were ranked the second best rotation. Don Sutton, again, was on that team. They did not win the World Series that year. So you're looking at the Atlanta Braves, did not win. The number two best rotation did not win. The third best rotation was the Houston Astros, did not win. The fourth best rotation did not win. The fifth rotation was the 1954 Cleveland Indians. They did not win the World Series that year. The number six best rotation ever in baseball were the 71 Baltimore Orioles. They did not win the World Series that year. Remember, that was the Pirates year. They won that year. So, and the seventh best rotation was the Philadelphia Phillies. They did not win that year. The eighth rotation, best rotation ever in baseball, were the 72 Oakland A's. They won the World Series that year. The ninth best World Series ever, San Francisco Giants, 2010. They did win the World Series. And then the 10th best ever MLB rotation put together did not win the World Series. So when I talk about it goes against the grain more than it goes for the grain, you're seeing examples there. Only two of the top 10 rotations ever in MLB went on to win the World Series. You've seen some first postseason divisional series losses. Some got to the World Series. I believe it was two got to the World Series, but ended up losing. But and there were a handful, like I said, lost in the first round. So the best rotation in baseball is not going to guarantee you diddly squat. We'll take a look at another good rotations here. We'll give they weren't ranked in the top 10, but you take a look at this 2013 Detroit Tiger team and 2014 Detroit Tiger team. 2013, Justin Verlander, Scherzer, Doug Fister, who was very, very underrated when he pitched, Sanchez, and Rick Porcello. Four of those guys went on in 2014. I think Fister moved on to Arizona. I can't remember, maybe San Francisco. And they brought in David Price midway in July in the trade deadline in 2014. They were great rotations also. Not much competition in 2013, 2014. Let's take a look at the results of 2013. They won against Oakland in 5 games, but then they lost to the Boston Red Sox in 6 games, the next division. Did not make it to the World Series, so did not get a World Series victory or even make the World Series. And they ended up winning only 93 games that year. So again, weak division. Didn't get the 95-plus wins where most teams would get with that rotation. So, and we'll take a look at the next year. Only 90 wins this following season, 2014, even after they brought in David Price. They lost first round, Baltimore Orioles, 3 straight. So again, rotations do not guarantee anything. I'm having a little problem with my computer. Here we go. So yeah, so great rotations don't guarantee you championships. It pretty much guarantees you playoffs. So as we saw with those great rotations, those 10, and then you take a look at the Tigers. All those 12 seasons, those 12 rotations got to the postseason. So, but when you get to the postseason, it's a different story. So who slots in where and things like that. So we're talking about Trevor Bauer. What do I got here? Trevor Bauer. Oh, yes. I tweeted this out the other day. I thought I just carried over in my thing here. You can see Trevor Bauer, his games last year. And let's face it, he did sign a 3-year contract worth 102, I think it was. But let's face it, he's opting out after that second year. So I'm looking at this as a 2-year contract, $85 million, which is an average value of $42.5 million a season. Now, his numbers last year were a little deceptive. I'm going to throw that's as kindly as I'll say. If you take a look at who his opposition was when he was on the mound, when you take a look at he faced the Brewers 3 times, and the Brewers lineup was just horrible last year. They're looking at the Brewers' winning percentage 483. Tigers faced them twice. They were brutal last year. Pirates, even worse than the Tigers, at 317 winning percentage. Cubs, they faced them twice last year. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, twice. Cubs were pretty respectable, 567. Royals, they faced them once, horrible. And then he faced the White Sox once, and I know he got a loss out of that White Sox game too. So his it's a little deceptive if you take a look at this. So combined record of those teams that I just showed you, those 6 teams that Bauer pitched against last year, 464 winning percentage. The rest of the league was at 509 winning percentage. So and this is the one that got to me right below here, where he didn't, he could have faced the Twins, Indians, or Cardinals because they were in the Central in both divisions, because that's what the COVID schedule, that's all they were allowed to face, was the Central. Didn't face the Twins, didn't face the Indians, and didn't face the Cardinals. So those Twins and Indians teams were pretty good with those. We see those winning percentages. And then the Cardinals are the Cardinals. They could pop a win off at any time. So I'm pretty, I don't think Bauer was worth that money. Is he a great pitcher? Yeah, he's a pretty special pitcher, but he's not DeGrom or Garrett Cole. He's not money like that. I don't believe. That's a lot. That 42.5 a season is a lot of coin. Not San Diego. Dodgers can afford it, I guess. They went over the threshold. They can afford throwing that extra money around. But I don't think they had to do it. I think they had enough in the tank to get by anybody and win the World Series. People say, well, this puts them over the top to win the World Series. And I'm here to tell you, as we just showed examples, it does not guarantee you over the top championship. I think they had a good thing going. They're bringing Bauer in. We'll see what happens here. Again, I heard, you hear these good teammates, stuff like that. But we're going to see what happens this season. And I just don't. I'm throwing it out there that it sometimes causes an issue when you have too many egos, running the same department. Let's just say, which then the department is the pitching rotation. So if we take a look at the rotation going in to a postseason, these are your 4 probably going to take the mound in your postseason with the Dodgers. You got Walker Buehler, Trevor Bauer, Clayton Kershaw, David Price. I would believe that's their 4 game starters going in to the World Series. Or sorry, not going to the World Series, going to the postseason. Pretty darn good, I'll tell you. But we're going to take a look at some other rotations who I think they could be facing later on in the postseason. We're going to take a look at the Cardinals rotation because I believe the Cardinals, I believe the Dodgers will win the most games this year, and then the Cardinals will be the lesser of the teams getting in. So these 2 teams will probably face off at the start. I don't know how it's going with wild cards and things like that. So I threw these 2 teams in here. I'm going to throw these 2 teams in who are possible wild card matchups, and if they, Dodgers could possibly be facing one of these rotations. And we'll take a look right now at the St. Louis Cardinals top 4. You've got Jack Flaherty, Miles Mikolas, Adam Wainwright, and let's just say Kwang Hung Kim. And when I say let's just say, because I thought I might have butchered his name, but I think I might have did a pretty good job on it. So that's not a shabby first 4 out of the St. Louis Cardinals going in games 1 to 4. These guys could easily, not gonna say pull an upset, but easily pitch in this postseason and could come on the better side of it, especially when you add Aaron Nolanalo to their team this year. Big boost, big bat, big D. I just love their corners infield now with the big man at first, and then you got Nolan at third. So their defense is usually going to be pretty solid. But again, that's a solid 4 right there. And if they don't face the Cardinals, well, they could be facing this rotation maybe in the first round or second round, but maybe first round. Let's take a look at this. Jacob deGrom, Carlos Carrasco, Marcus Stroman, Noah Syndergaard. Hopefully Syndergaard's healthy, but that's not a shabby 4 to go up against the Dodgers. And again, this is what we get sidetracked with. It's deGrom against Bueller. No, it's not DeGrom against Bueller. It's DeGrom against the lineup of the Los Angeles Angels. Sorry, not Angels. Los Angeles Dodgers. So it's DeGrom facing the lineup. He can shut down anybody's lineup. He doesn't got to go up against Bueller. Bueller got to come up against the Mets, and this Mets offense is pretty potent. You take a look around every position on that Mets lineup, and I'm not going to get into their lineup right now, but they can beat any pitcher at any given day. So if you get a game out of DeGrom and shuts down the Dodgers offense, and then Bueller pitches against this Mets offense, Mets can easily win a ball game when you have DeGrom on the mound because he can shut down anybody's offense. Same with Cookie Carrasco. He can shut down an offense. So it's not ace against ace. It's ace against the other team's lineup. Which lineup is better between the Dodgers and the Mets? I'm liking the Mets lineup, man. I really liking the Mets lineup. I know the Dodgers got some veteran leadership in there. You know, they went through the postseason 3-4 years. These guys, the Mets, are going to be starting out and things like that. But let's not diminish the value of what Kiki Hernandez brought or Jock Peterson. Dodgers are without those two players this year, so that's a minus out of their lineup. And then with the Mets, you're adding Francisco Lindor to that lineup and McCann behind the plate, who's going to be much better catching defensively and offensively what they had last year. Don't sleep on these Mets if I were the Dodgers, because their rotation, if you get a healthy Noah Syndergaard, they have another kid there, Peterson, I believe his name is, who's going to have a great year too. So like as a starter, so they're pretty, they're solid. I like their bullpen. I think that they're going to be fine, the Mets. And if I was a Dodgers, I'd be worried facing the Mets, no question, no question at all. But again, like I said, and then plus I haven't signed Justin Turner yet, so rumor is he'll be coming back, but that's another loss if they can't bring him back. So you don't know what other moves they're going to make if they lose Justin and don't get him signed. Maybe they bring in a Chris Bryant or something like that to help the offense a bit. So we'll go from there. But now we'll take a look at this rotation. This is the team that they almost lost to last year. The Braves had a 3-1 series lead on them. I'm not a Dodgers fan. I kind of root against them when they play, and I was so rooting for the Braves to win. I just couldn't put that freaking hammer in the nail, and I'm sure they regret it. And every day they wake up, I know I would. So, but you take a look at this Braves rotation. Mike Soroka, Max Fried, Charlie Morton, Ian Anderson. Like, come on. You can't tell me this four doesn't match up against the other four. And you talk about the Braves offense is just electric with the offense at the top of the order. And the big piece they had to bring back was Ozuna, which they got him signed. If they didn't bring in that big bat of Ozuna's, then I would worry about the Braves facing a Dodgers team. But I'm not so worried now, man. This team can match up against anybody's rotation in baseball. And again, I know the Dodgers, the rotation is everybody's picking them. Oh yeah, World Series. Let's just hand the ring over. Not so quick, guys. Take a look at this rotation: Soroka, Fried, Morton, and Ian Anderson. And you start getting 1, 2, 3, and 4 with these guys going up against Dodgers lineup. These guys will be pretty darn good. So again, great rotation. Dodgers 7 deep, no question. It's going to cause problems. There is no guarantee on a championship, though. You can't throw all 7 guys out at the same time. So it's one at a time. And the pecking order amongst the team of a department, which I'm calling the pitching rotation a department. There'll be issues, no question. There'll be issues. Wait till Bauer gets the quick hook, because that's how those Dodgers, they don't like the third time around. When Bauer gets pulled, I know Bauer put a YouTube video out talking about, well, I'm only going to sign with a team who we're going to have the same philosophies. He was breaking it down like that. Would, to me, like we have to be on the same page. You're going to hear my idea. To me, that's a bunch of crock. He went for the money bag, no question in my mind. Don't care who it was. I don't think the Dodgers are going to change their philosophy for for Trevor Bauer. I just don't think. I can't see it. I just can't see it. Maybe they'll stay away from his training regime that he does now. That in the past, Mickey Callaway, when he's with the Cleveland pitching coach, he was kind of sour on Trevor Bauer doing some certain routines on his off days and things like that. Maybe Los Angeles will keep their lips quiet on that, but as it comes to running the ball game, absolutely they will not change their philosophy. Not a chance. And now let's take a look at this potent rotation. Again, this rotation's got to go up against an offense. It doesn't got to go up against the Dodgers rotation. They don't pitch against the Dodgers rotation, so take a look at this San Diego Padres rotation of Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Dinelson Lamet, and Joe Musgrove. Now, this is a potent rotation also. Could be right behind the Dodgers rotation because, these are the first four I was starting a ball game. They still got Paddock, Mackenzie Gore, guys like that because they're six deep themselves. So this team right here, the Pods, will get over 100 wins this year. How's it going to set up? I think this is a four game 1, 2, 3, 4 starters right here. Blake Snell. The one thing that I like about Blake Snell going up against the Dodgers is that the Dodgers are a little, as Blake Snell showed last year in the postseason in the World Series, they don't hit lefties as well as they hit righties. So that's one feather in the cap of the Padres is Blake Snell will definitely be a game 1 starter. Followed by Yu Darvish, then Lamet and Musgrove, and then this is 21. Then 22 they get Clevenger back in 2022. So. And I think all 4 of these guys are back a year too, so that'll be a dynamite rotation again. Once Clevenger gets back, then it's might be a little dicey again. Same thing with the Dodgers, the pecking order. They're all human, and they got to know the pecking order of on your ball team. And when that's in question, it causes a little rift. I've coached teams in the past where pecking order was a little off sometimes. Not very rarely was it, but when your pecking order is off, it causes a little ripple through your team. It's just a tiny bit of a ripple, and that sometimes is the difference between winning and losing ball games. So that's my take on the Dodgers rotation this year. I'm not handling them a championship, as we saw. From history, the top 10 rotations in MLB history, only 2 of them won the World Series, and that was the 72 Oakland A's and the 2010 San Francisco Giants. The other 8, I think 2 of them lost in the World Series, and the other 4 didn't even make it to the World Series. So my math's probably off there, but the other 6 didn't make it to the World Series. So we don't hand over the championship ring just yet. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you like that little take on the rotation. Don't forget, press like on the video. YouTube loves those likes. It gets it out there in the baseball world, so other baseball fans maybe who don't know about my channel may be able to see it and maybe like it. Who knows? So hit like, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you are a member of YouTube, hit subscribe and stay tuned for some more baseball contact. I haven't been doing a lot the last probably 10 days. I'm getting set up and getting ready when spring training hits in I believe it's February 27th, 29th. I can't remember, but I'm going to start going live and we're going to have some discussions. I want to have discussions with who's watching and things like that. Get some live chat going. This Sunday night breakdown. This is going to be an every Sunday night thing that I'm going to send out. Break down something of the week. I just happen to choose the rotation of the Dodgers this week here and see what it guarantees them and what it doesn't guarantee and things like that. With the signing of Bauer, so that was kind of, in line with that. So again, guys, thanks for listening, and Tune in next time. Bye bye now.